years ago when I came across a house that had been abandoned for nearly 2 decades. Nestled deep within the woods, it was an old place that no one had dared to buy. Over time, people forgot about it, and nature slowly swallowed it whole. The house was left to rot, hidden away beneath a canopy of trees. I had always been fascinated by these kinds of places, abandoned, forgotten, holding secrets from the past. I loved exploring them. So, on a random afternoon, with nothing else to do, I decided to visit the house. I packed a small backpack, grabbed a flashlight, and made my way there alone. Usually, I went with friends, but this house was close by, and I figured I wouldn't need anyone. The driveway leading to the house was almost completely gone. Grass and weeds had overtaken the gravel, making it clear that no one had driven this way in years. As I walked deeper into the woods, the distance seemed longer than I had remembered, almost as if the house was trying to hide itself. I felt an odd sense of unease settle in my chest. When I finally reached it, I took out my flashlight and inspected the place. It was an old wooden 2-story home, built long before garages were common. The windows were shattered, and the wood was weathered and broken in places. I approached one of the broken windows, leaned my head inside, and listened. Silence. Nothing but the sound of my own breathing and the distant rustling of trees. Satisfied that I was alone, I went to the front door. It was already cracked open. I hesitated for a moment before pushing it wide. The hinges groaned as the door swung open, revealing a decaying interior. Stepping inside, I saw remnants of the past. Old furniture covered in dust, torn up sofas, and shattered picture frames that had fallen from the walls. Whoever had lived here had left in a hurry, abandoning everything. I walked through the first floor, careful with each step. The wooden planks creaked beneath me, but the house held. After a few minutes of exploring, I made my way up the stairs to the second floor. The staircase was unsteady, and every step sent chills down my spine. At the top, a narrow hallway led to 2 rooms. One door was wide open, the other closed. I decided to check the open one first. The room was empty, completely bare, a stark contrast to the cluttered rooms downstairs. As I moved my flashlight across the room, I suddenly heard a loud thud from below. I froze. It wasn't the house settling. It wasn't the wind. Something or someone had made that sound. My heart began pounding in my chest. I quickly hurried down the stairs, waving myself to leave. My friends and I always had a rule. At the first sign of something sketchy, we get out. I turned toward the front door, but my breath caught it in my throat. The door was shut. I had left it open, wide open. I rushed to it and pulled the handle. It didn't budge. It was locked, or worse, bolted shut from the outside. Panic set in. Someone was here. Someone had locked me in. I ran to the broken window and jumped out, landing hard on the ground outside. My flashlight hit the dirt and rolled away, but I didn't stop to grab it. I sprinted toward the trees, my heart pounding, my breath coming in sharp gasps as I ran. I turned off my flashlight and veered off the path, hoping to avoid whoever had locked me in. Then, ahead of me, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Red and blue flashing lights. Police cars. 2 of them, cutting through the thick grass, driving toward the house. I crouched behind a tree, watching as the officers rushed toward the front of the house. They didn't seem to be looking for me. Something inside me knew they weren't here for me. I stayed hidden, waiting, watching. Then, after a minute, I turned and ran all the way home. To this day, I don't know who else was in that house. I don't know why the police showed up or what they found. I tried searching for any news in the following weeks, but nothing was ever released to the public. Whatever was in that house, whoever was in that house, it was something the world was never